So there was a script that came to me, and I lose track, it might have been 10 years ago. And it was an interesting script, and it was dealing with a subject that I'm particularly concerned with. And I've been dealing with a group called the Coalition for the Homeless for a long time in New York. And it turns out the script was actually written in the late 80s, but it was still totally relevant 10 years ago. And I couldn't get it out of my mind, and I ended up buying the script, and I had a sense of what I wanted to do with this film, but I couldn't quite get it there. And this is the short version of it. And we ran into each other. We've been friends from I'm Not There, the Bob Dylan movie, with Oren Coburn and I was in. I said, I have this script, and I'm looking for someone like Oren Moberman to do it. And but he would never do it because he's too busy. And I'm talking to him. So he said, well, send it. Let's talk about it. So I sent it to him, and he responded. I had a lot of ideas over the years that had occurred to me of how to turn this script that didn't work into something that had some real jewels. And there was a book by a guy named Cadillac Man, who was a homeless man, who it was a very unschooled autobiography of someone with really wonderful talent and just was able to communicate his world and with great peasant poetry and with no sense of self-pity about it. It was very dry in that sense. And it was beautiful. And I knew that that was the way they should feel. So we started talking about this film from that point of view, and neorealism and our references of really have a very attuned bullshit barometer as we approach this material. So and in fact, it really came together quite quickly and naturally. I mean, there were no bumps in the road leading up to shooting this thing. It was just, it fell into place. We were so much on the same wavelength that it was really quite easy. If this has quality, it's because Oren brought the quality to it. This is the best sense of what a director does. He picked very carefully all the talent to be in this movie, behind the camera as well as on camera, and he knew how to bring out the absolute best in everyone. And that's if you can't do that as a director, don't begin. Don't even start. I think we were very much on the same wavelength of how to do this from the beginning. So it wasn't a struggle of there's thousands of different ways of doing these scenes. They were fresh, and that we didn't rehearse a lot. The way we shot, you might want to talk about why you arrived at this, but we were on extremely long lenses, as you could tell in this film. The footprint of the filmmakers was very far away, and the people who are in the streets of New York did not know they were being, I shouldn't say this, but they did not know they were being filmed. The first cut he showed me was like, okay, that was the movie I hoped that we had made. And I was thinking about this 10 years ago, so for me it was a miracle. Oren has a real bizarre sense of time on film. He doesn't feel rushed. He doesn't care about cutting. It's not what he does. He just wants us to be in the movie with these people, and he doesn't want to manipulate it in any way whatsoever. And I'm quite aware of 2 hours in storytelling. And he kept telling me, slow down. You don't have to rush through this. But I keep telling people it's actually worse than being invisible. It's a black hole that everyone is afraid to get sucked into. You're radiating failure being homeless on the street. No one wants to come in. And for me, the profundity of my experience doing this, the first day we did what we call a test day to see if this was going to work, a master place, and the camera was in the Starbucks down there. And no one on the street could see the camera. But I'm out there, first time to see if this was going to work. And I mean, I'm still making movies, I'm still out there. So I was a little scared, actually, and anxious about, one as a filmmaker, but personally, that I would be that naked out there on the streets. No one paid any attention to me. No one saw me.
If you had to cut.
I had a cut. I mean, I started talking after a while. We went for 45 minutes shooting this thing straight, because we shot digitally in a very long take sometimes. And I started a bit approaching people, not harassing them, but just approaching. Can you help me out? Spare change. Can you help me out? Spare change. No eye contact. Even when someone gave me a dollar bill, no eye contact. That to me was the first time I've really felt inside of what that is. And for me, look, I come here and you want to hear what I have to say. You've seen my movie. I'm iconic in some way. And it's romantic in some way. I'm the same guy as on the street. And no one wanted to come here. No one wanted to hear his story.
Right.
So for me, it's a profound experience of existentialism. Of how relative it all is. All. Existence itself. Certainly consciousness.